Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Deadbeat Son, coming in hot with your host Trey Lamb. That's me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry too much. I'm going to say this right out the gate. I hope you're just listening to this episode. To my listeners, hello, hi. If you're watching, I'm going to apologize for my appearance. Your boy had a long night. Okay, and I had to get up very, very early I'm about to leave for California right now. So this is, look, full disclosure, recording this a little early. This is right now it's November 1st when you're seeing this or hearing this. Or it's not, or it's in the future. It's after that, but it is at least November 1st. Happy November. But full disclosure, I'm recording this on October 28th. And I'm about to leave for California. I'm about to drive. And that is not going to be fun, right? There's no way. Look, I like driving. I enjoy a cruise. I enjoy a Sunday cruise, maybe, you know what I mean? I enjoy road trips even, you know? Shoot, why not? Give it to me. But Utah to LA is like 10 hours. You add that to you add going through Las Vegas. You add being in LA when I get there. That's going to be rough, you know. So not necessarily looking forward to the drive, but I'm excited for the trip. So that's what's important. I mean, I didn't get enough sleep to do this drive. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And we'll see how it goes. If you're a real fan, you know, if you're a real keeping up with everything I'm doing, then you will have seen my posts about this trip. So, and when you're watching this, I'm in California right now. I'm doing stuff. Who knows? You know, I'm all over the place. I could be, you know, at my buddy Noah's place. I could be at my buddy Eric's place. Who knows? You know, the really possibilities are endless. So, but I'm excited for it. So, Halloween just happened yesterday, right? So, hope you had a good one. Did you have a good one? Did you go out? Did you dress up? Did you not dress up because you're too cool? Remember that? I used to be like that sometimes. I used to think that it was like cool to not dress up, but then then you get ostracized. You know what I mean? For not looking like a fool in school. So, look, man, this episode is going to be all over the place. I'm telling you that right now. It is 6 a.m. that I'm recording this, and usually I'm not up at 6 a.m. You know, usually I'm up at later. So, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited, you know, for my trip. I just recorded a podcast with a couple guys in Salt Lake City called The Other Side of the Beehive. So you guys can check me out on that. And they were in costumes. I didn't wear a costume. I was supposed to wear a costume to do this podcast with these fellas, and I didn't. Oops. So I brought my red tinted shades that you saw in the last episode, and I did the whole Mitch Hedberg, took them off. Now I'm Kurt Cobain, and they loved it. So, you know what I mean? Speaking of Halloween, I've had some issues. I've taken umbrage with a particular community, and I need to address that formally, and I'm going to do that right now. The witches. What? Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing, witches? You know? Chill out. Leave me alone. That's what I got to say to you. So, for those who don't know, a couple weeks ago, one of my posts, one of my clips on Instagram got taken down. And it was the one about women who say they hate all men. And I also kind of talk about witches in that bit as well. And that got taken down off Instagram for hate speech. So I screenshotted the message that said, "Your post has been removed." I put that on my story, right? To show people, look at this, man. Instagram's taking my stuff down for no reason. That story got taken down by Instagram on account of hate speech or hate symbols yet again. So by just saying that they took a thing down, that got taken down as well. So I screenshotted that, and I posted that, and saying, and I posted the picture of the original message saying your post has been taken down, and then I added the picture of the post saying your story has been taken down. And guess what happened? Yeah, that got removed as well for hate speech and hate symbols. So I took a screenshot of that. I put that on my story, and I wrote, "What do you want from me?" And that stayed up. So that's fine. I guess I win. But I mean, my goodness, like what's happening? Am I being silenced? Am I being censored? These witches, man, they got it out for me, bro. I'm telling you. They're giving me they're treating me like I'm, it's freaking Kanye West or something, trying to shut me down. Which, oh my God, dude, have you been following this? I mean, the guy just can't keep his mouth shut. He upset. He basically, dude, Kanye's not just getting canceled. He's getting he's getting discommunicated from society, dude. To get canceled is like an angry group, or small group of people on Twitter take umbrage, or they take offense, or they don't like what someone is saying or their actions, so they will see to it that this person no longer has the same perception that they did. And in a lot of cases that means not working, or losing jobs, deals, sponsorships. In Kanye's case, contracts with Adidas and the Gap. So man, they got his ass. They said he was saying some gnarly stuff about Jewish people, and it's funny to be commenting on people who, this elite group who kind of controls media and will have people silenced and censored if they don't like what's being said. And then he's talking about that, and then he gets silenced and censored. So, I think that's interesting. And this was so a couple crazy things with that. First of all, he lost his deal with Adidas, right? And then he allegedly went down to the Skechers office in LA and just showed up. It was and they wouldn't give him a deal, right? And they had to escort him out. Could you imagine? Could you imagine having to escort Kanye West out of a Skechers? What? How do you even start that, dude? I mean, that doesn't make a lick of sense. It took two of them. It took two people to get him out. I wonder if they just sent two, or one couldn't get the job done. Who's to say? I like to think that that's what happened. One couldn't get the job done. So, the other, kind of weird thing about the whole situation is, so after he gets removed from Skechers, they don't want to deal with him. Claire's and Spencer Gifts picked him up, though, so he'll be fine. But recently, I saw in the news that some anonymous people who allegedly have worked with Kanye in the past came out and said that they were talking about his fascination with Adolf Hitler, leader of the Nazi Party. So, pretty famous guy, right? Infamous, whatever you want to call it. One news station was saying that a few people that worked with Kanye said that he freaking loves the guy. He got mad respect for what he's done, what he's accomplished, what he's built, you know. And that they had like long-lasting suspicions that Kanye might be, a sympathizer, right? Which, out the gate, this sounds like the side plot of The Pacifier, starring Vin Diesel, right? That was a whole thing where one of the kids that he was looking after, the older boy, Vin Diesel thought was a Nazi sympathizer or an affiliate, and that he was like joining or like going to meetings and stuff, when it turns out he was just in his school musical production of something, whatever, that old German one where I guess there's a Nazi in it. So, and he played that. So, which, man, is too much. Can I just say that? That is too much to put in Vin Diesel's The Pacifier. Look, man, I'm 6, 7 years old. I'm trying to enjoy Vin Diesel in a funny situation, a big tough buff guy, in a situation where he has to be, genuine, and he has to look after kids. That's funny. That's all I cared about. That's the only plot I needed to know. And then maybe see some action sequence, see him driving a minivan, all cool like. But what I did not need was to be introduced to Nazism and Nazi sympathizing. What? Man, that was a little much, okay? So, anyway, that's kind of what's happening with Kanye right now, except he's not in a musical, I think. I don't know. And he's just kind of saying this stuff. One of the things that one of these accusers said about him, which I found very interesting, was how this is a quote from CNN. It was like, Kanye even wanted to name one of his albums Hitler, but instead changed it to Ye at the last minute. Which, look, feel how you feel about him. I support all people. It's not about that. It's just kind of interesting to me that if that's the progression of his albums, it just doesn't. Does that make sense to anybody? Like, let's see. Like, okay, let's go through his albums, okay? And let's see where that would fit. Okay, so we have The College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreak, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, Yeezus, Life of Pablo, Hitler, Kids See Ghost, Jesus is King, Donda. I don't think it just doesn't. I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits with the rest of his vibe. Especially that album Ye is 2018. Like, that's all about like mental health and like the ego and the insecurities or growing up and identity and like all that kind of stuff. All this stuff. I just find it hard to believe that he was going to be like, you know what, I'm going to name this one Hitler. Yeah. College dropout, late registration, 808s and heart, or college dropout, late registration, graduation, 808s and heartbreak, beautiful dark twisted fantasy, Watch the Throne, Jesus, Life of Pablo, Hitler. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what else you don't see is people like praising God for an entire album, and then also being a big old fan of Adolf. I don't know, man. Look, he should not be saying, nor should he have said a lot of the things that he has, but that's just kind of silly, I feel like, to be like, and he also was going to name his album Hitler. Like, I don't know, man. I have a tough time with that. I have a tough time grasping that, But, so he's, hopefully he, I mean, if you're listening, Kanye, I hope you find peace. I hope you find like happiness and peace, and that whatever anger or whatever emotions is causing this, can cease. Speaking of, I need these witches to calm down. I asked them on my Instagram. I asked them to cease their onslaught of my posts and stories, because it's getting absurd. It is. You could put your hex on me. I don't care. Get a little voodoo doll with my frickin' hair and poke holes in my button eyes. See what happens. See if I care. You know what I mean? See if I cry about it. This is a hoot, by the way. We know that. Anyway, speaking of witches, brings me to our Deadbeat of the Week. This is a fun one. This is a fun one because it's probably the most relevant we've had thus far. We got old TB12 kisses his son too long. Woody Allen, who hasn't been relevant for like ever, and then Alec Baldwin. Today's Deadbeat of the Week goes to, there's also our first like historical figure, so not alive anymore, and was alive a very long time ago, and is an important figure for history, American history, and witch history, and therefore, unfortunately, now my history. So, this is a man who was very, very prevalent with witches. Witches know this name. Okay? So, it brings me, I'm honored to present this week's Deadbeat of the Week to none other than, boom, Samuel Paris. I know. Boom. Shell-shocked. I know. Who saw this coming, right? Little Samuel Paris action for you. He is not revered. He is accredited with being like the father of the Salem witch trials. So this guy also had issues with the witches, much like myself. But he, unlike me, did something about it. He sure did. It was his daughter or niece. So it was his daughter and niece, I think, that essentially started the witch trials, the witch hunt back in the day by accusing another woman of it, and then this guy went and showed her what's what. He said no, none of that. So after that moment, people started seeing the value in accusing others of being witches just to get the heat off of them. So this guy, man, it ended up kind of just being like, and I read a little bit about him. It ended up being like we've heard, it started off as like really like kind of scary religious, like saying like God wants me to do this and that and whatever. Scary stuff when people believe that, but it ended up just turning into him just, kind of burning and killing people that he didn't like. So yeah, we have this very justified, earned deadbeat of the week. He could be deadbeat of the 15th century for all I care. I mean, the guy's bad news, However, I cannot leave out that he did do something about the witches. Okay, so we got to give him that. He's a bad guy. So there you go, Samuel Paris. He kind of looks like he looks like a bass player, from from an old 80s band. He really does. Got a lot of white guys up there. I just realized, stop being deadbeat dirtbags, and but also we will switch it up a little bit. Anyway, gonna keep this episode kind of short today, folks, because I gotta get on the road now. So, stay. If you're watching this, I'm already there. So hopefully I made it, and everything's good. If not, you'll have heard about it on Instagram or whatever. So I'm in California. Come see me November 3rd. I'm at the Madhouse. November 4th, I'm in LA. November 5th, I'm in Santa Barbara. So get tickets to all that at treylam.com. Check out the clips. Check out Instagram, and email the pod, deadbeatsonpodcast@gmail.com. You can send me something, P.O. Box 591, Clearfield, Utah 84015. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.